Point Rash Judgement from Lyrical Ballads 1800. This is a poem for all of us who have on occasion leapt to false conclusions or spoken words we later regret. As Wordsworth puts it, nor did we fail to see within ourselves that need there is to be reserved in speech, and temper all our thoughts with charity. The context is an early morning September stroll near Grasmere Lake, taken by himself, Dorothy, and their good friend Coleridge. Wordsworth recalls how this group of literary, nature-loving friends neared a rocky point to the eastern shore of the lake, and there they caught sight of a man fishing in the distance. Immediately they formed ungenerous, incorrect assumptions about him, and Wordsworth later reflects on this. He and his friends can enjoy the luxury of strolling and talking on a fine September morning by the lake in a way the man they encountered could not. Not only is he a working man, but a severe illness has kept him from labouring in the fields. He is in fact desperately fishing to earn his keep. The poem closes with Wordsworth explaining how they came to name that portion of the shore where they encountered the man Point Rash Judgement. This reading begins with the first sighting of the man. From the fields, meanwhile, a noise was heard. The busy mirth of reapers, men and women, boys and girls, delighted much to listen to those sounds, and in the fashion which I have described, feeding unthinking fancies, we advanced along the indented shore, when suddenly, through a thin veil of glittering haze, we saw before us, on a point of jutting land, the tall and upright figure of a man, attired in peasant's garb, who stood alone, angling beside the margin of the lake. That way we turned our steps, nor was it long ere, making ready comments on the sight, which then we saw with one and the same voice, we all cried out that he must indeed be an idle man, who thus could lose a day of the mid-harvest, when the labourer's hire is ample, and some little might be stored wherewith to cheer him in the winter-time. Thus talking of that peasant, we approached close to the spot where with his rod and line he stood alone, whereat he turned his head to greet us, and we saw a man worn down by sickness, gaunt and lean, with sunken cheeks and wasted limbs, his legs so long and lean that for my single self I looked at them, forgetful of the body they sustained, too weak to labour in the harvest field. The man was using his best skill to gain a pittance from the dead, unfeeling lake that knew not of his wants. I will not say what thoughts immediately were ours, nor how the happy idleness of that sweet morn, with all its lovely images, was changed to serious musing and to self-reproach. Nor did we fail to see within ourselves what need there is to be reserved in speech, and temper all our thoughts with charity. Therefore, unwilling to forget that day, my friend, myself, and she who then received the same admonishment, have called the place by a memorial name, uncouth indeed, as ere by mariner was given to a bay or foreland on a new discovered coast. And Point Rash Judgement is the name it bears.